Hello! I decided to show you a video of how I made a virtual Bitmoji classroom that is interactive. So if I click on the calculator here, it will take me to ixl.com, the exact link that I want my students maybe to practice on for that lesson today. So I'm assuming two things for this to be very easy for you. I'm assuming that you already have a Bitmoji and you are pretty familiar with Google Slides. If you don't already have a Bitmoji, you should go to bitmoji.com or download the app and you can create one. So on bitmoji.com, if you scroll about halfway down, you can see here's the place where you can download it on the App Store or Google Play to make your Bitmoji. If you scroll all the way towards the bottom, you'll find this icon, which is the Google Chrome icon to get the extension onto your browser. So you're going to go on the left side, you'll see extension, and then you need to be able to add it here. Mine says remove because I've already added it. And then it should show up here in the top on your browser. So if we go ahead and get started, the very first thing you're going to want to do is add a blank slide in your Google Slides. So you're going to want to click on this arrow instead of the plus sign so that you can select blank slide. The next thing that we need to do is add the background. So change your background, choose your image, and you want to search Google Images. You're going to want to type in something like wall and floor. And then you'll see some of the choices that we can get here. I have not tried something with corners or side walls, so I've decided to try something with just, the front wall of the classroom and the floor. I also noticed that wall and floor seemed to be the best thing. When I tried to be more specific, like maybe science classroom, I didn't get very good results. So now you're ready to start adding things into your space. So you're going to want to start by inserting an image and you're going to search from the web. Now when you do this, the key here is to type in the word transparent before anything that you search. So in this case, I'm going to start with a whiteboard. Let's type in transparent whiteboard, and this allows me, when I select which whiteboard I want, I'm going to most likely, not in all cases, but most likely get something with a clear background. Resize your whiteboard and position it where you want. When you're putting in your pieces of furniture, I suggest starting with the things that are more permanent, maybe even the bigger things, and maybe even starting with things that you're going to put on the wall. But really, you can start anywhere you want. The next thing for me, I'm probably going to need a bookshelf. So I'm going to go back up and insert an image. And now when I insert, I just leave that word transparent there and I search for my bookshelf. So you can choose the bookshelf that you want and insert that image. You're going to resize it, position it obviously where you want, but those things can change. You might choose to have shelves that are on the wall instead, or even have some of those cube organizer shelves. The next thing that I'm going to show you is how to add an icon or some kind of tool, books or things like that, so that you can put links attached to these. So basically you just do it the same way. You go to insert image, type in whatever it is that you're looking for. In this case, I'm going to type in science tools, see what I can come up with. And I'm going to choose this flask here. I will insert it into my slides, size it and shape it so that I can put it on my shelf. And now I'm ready to show you how to add a link attached to this. You're going to go to the link that you want to add, like a YouTube video, maybe an audio book from a YouTube video, a link from a website. You can even do a link to a slideshow. You're going to copy that link. Then you're going to go and click on the image that you want to attach it to. You're going to hit insert, scroll down to the bottom of that long column and click on link. a little box pops up and you need to paste your link into that and hit apply. So you can see here my lab safety video is now attached to my Flask. So if a student hits my Flask, it will pop up with this link and take them right to the video. Okay, let's do some work with the Bitmoji. If you go up here to the top at the extension where you added earlier, you can click on this little icon and a small window will pop up, which for some reason it's not showing on my screen recording. But you can type in at the box, it's very self-explanatory, maybe like welcome or sitting or waving or whatever you want. And then you just choose the Bitmoji that you'd like, and you can either copy and paste, or I can just drag mine onto my Google Slides. And then it takes a little bit to kind of create the image, but then you can size it and shape it, position it where you'd like it, just like everything else. I think I will put mine over here maybe. Actually, I think I'm going to show you a different option that I learned. If you click on an image, right click on an image and go down to format options, this little sidebar will pop up. So if you go to format options, you can go to the first heading called size and rotation, and you can hit flip and it will flip your image. So mine with words doesn't look quite right because it's a mirrored image, but I can move it over here on this side. My bookshelf was kind of in the way. So I'm going to try to crop out some of these letters because it's not going to work the way it is now. And so to do that, I just double clicked on the image, and you'll see the little black tabs come up instead of the blue lines, and you can move the black lines. And then I'm just gonna scooch my whiteboard over here a little bit and try to cover up the last remaining W piece. At this point, students can touch any of the images and move them around, and we don't want that. We only want them to be able to click on an icon and get a link. So what you need to do is only have all of the permanent furniture and items in place. In this situation, I would not want my Flask in this picture yet. You can then go to File, Download, and save this as a PNG, so the background picture will be permanent as one solid image. So then if you go ahead and add another blank slide, or just use the one that you already have, that could probably work, but you're going to hit background and upload that image that you just saved from your computer. So mine kind of skipped a few things when it was showing you on the screen recording, but you should try this out on yours and make sure that at this point you aren't able to click on any of the images at all. If that's the case, then you did it correctly, and now you can add your little things like your icons to make audiobooks or links to social medias, Class Dojo, and things like that. I do want to show you another thing. If you go and insert an image, let's add a couch or some kind of chair, whatever you want to add. I'm going to choose one that I think is going to be good for what I want to show you. So I'll pick this. I don't even know what color the couch this is. And size it, position it where I think I might want it. And just the same way as I did my Bitmoji, which I'm going to get rid of here, right click on the image, click format options, which it's showing up better now. And then remember in the first part, you can flip the image. So my couch was kind of facing the wrong way. I'm going to flip it to put it over here on this side. The next thing you can do is go down here to recolor in the same format options. And the options are kind of limited, but it does help you a little bit. You can choose a different color for the couch that might fit better into your slide. Sometimes the colors that work on the couch or of the style of the couch that you want don't really work in your room. So I found that you can kind of change the colors and make it a little bit more custom to you. Another thing that might be useful for you when you're trying to figure out how to add all of these things into your classroom would be trying to figure out the positions and the perspective of things. And then there's a little trick. See, my tree, even after I size it and position where I want it to be, it's in front of my couch. So to put it behind my couch, make sure I'm selected my tree, and I can hit Control and then the down arrow. So Control down is a shortcut to move things back, move images backwards. And you might notice now at this point that my tree is even off the slide a little bit, but that's okay. I'm gonna move some things around until I find out exactly what works best for me. But if I just hit Control, and I can use down to move things backwards, or I can hit Control and use the up arrow to move things forward. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you that with a rug now. You can just, after you find what you want, you can just make sure that your image that you want is selected, and then you can hit Control down to move it backwards, and I can put it under my couch. You might want to add a table or lamps or windows even, curtains, borders, bulletin boards. I've seen all kinds of things so far. The last thing I'm going to do is add my Bitmoji sitting position and put her back into my slide. And that is how you do the basics of your own virtual Bitmoji classroom.